everyone. Welcome to the 101st episode of the Balanced Business Podcast. As always, got the amazing Justine, Larissa, and Nico here, team. Happy last one of the 2023.
Yeah, actually, that's crazy. I didn't realize this.
So crazy to think about, but it's been a year. We learned a lot, and Justine, I'm really excited about this game. When you told me about it, I was like, wow, I think the viewers are really gonna appreciate this. So, tell me about what we're doing today.
Okay, yes. So we are creating a tier list of different business growth strategies, advertising strategies, and just general business growth related things. And whether they're good or bad, we're going to rank them and explain why they're good or bad. So S tier is like the supreme tier, and then it just goes down from there. So we can start with our first one, which is Facebook advertising. Where would we rank this on S, A, B, C, or D? And why?
S, top tier, because, well, top tier in some ways. Maybe A, either S or A. Very effective, easy to get leads, easy to optimize your leads. You don't need to have you don't need to be like a neurosurgeon to be able to figure out the ad structure and whatnot. And it's a very good platform for testing.
Yeah, and I'll kind of echo that. I would say A as well. The biggest, I think, other side of that is it does require a base knowledge of marketing, offers. Alex Hormozi says it best, right? Like when you do start, it might like advertising and paid marketing might be not the first thing you try, the second or third, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how much it's going to cost on average. You don't know what you're looking for. So it's really good and can scale you pretty quickly, but you do have to have some knowledge of marketing, offers, have a good sales process, know what you're selling for this to be super effective.
Great. Okay, that is our first A item. Next item is following up with leads that you get for your business. Where would we rank this?
Oh, the highest.
Oh my gosh, S tier.
Higher, like instant, higher than S. I have so many horror stories of even in ourselves. Like, so we're a perfect example of this. Like, sometimes there are days and times where you need to follow up with someone. Maybe send a proposal out. Maybe someone missed a call and you got to rebook them, and you just don't feel like you want to do it. If you feel that, it is your sign to go do it, because most business owners leave so much money on the table with not following up. And how I see it, and what was a big change for me, was following up is serving. So you're not being annoying. Like, obviously, if you're spamming them, that's not good. But they came into your circle or your zeitgeist for a specific reason, to solve a specific problem, and they inquired about it from you. So you'd be doing them a disservice by not trying to help them solve that problem that they have.
Yeah, it's also free. Like, it's so free to follow up with your leads. You don't need to spend ad spend on it. You don't need to focus on getting new leads. Also, they already know you. They already know who you are. You've probably already had some level of interaction with them. But it is where a lot of people leave money on the table, is just by not following up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pick a random one here. Not creating profitable offers. Where would we rank this?
Oh my goodness. Is there like a sinkhole option that we can put that in? Like, is there any way we can just like put it to where it's like the core of the earth? Because it is one of the, probably my biggest problem with current marketing is like sometimes we discount offers, and discounts are attractive. Don't get me wrong. Like, people love a good deal, but like you can only discount so much to where you lose money acquiring a customer. And if you're a huge, massive company, that might not always be bad because you can make it up on the back end. But if you're a small business, like a landscaping company or a company who sells windows or roofs, it doesn't really matter because we have a wide variety of people listening to this show. You need to know that what you're selling will make you money, and that is my favorite. At least break even. So you gotta run your numbers to know if the offer is actually feasible.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not worth selling something you're not going to make money on. And so you do need to really take a step back. And when we say creating the offer, we also mean it's profitable for you, but it makes sense for everybody involved, that it's a reasonable package, that it's something you can fulfill. And ideally, I like to, I'll add a little asterisks to here. The D tier is really when you create not profitable offers and not scalable offers. I would pair those two things together,
Yeah,
and they're
definitely.
both bad.
Comma, sometimes you got to do not scalable offers. So, like, if you're a landscaping company and you install artificial grass, right? Maybe you subcontract out the concrete because they need that to be in order to go with you. Right? So maybe it's not scalable. You lose a little money, or you break even on the concrete side, but you sell your turf. So, I don't know, disagreements, healthy disagreements.
Of course. Okay, next is asking for reviews. How important is this?
I would say B. The reason is most of the time, at least from my side and Laura's side, I'd kind of love to hear your thoughts on this. Like, asking for reviews is difficult because most of the time you need a system or a process that can help you to remind you, because there's so many other things happening that you should be focusing on, that sometimes, like, it is important, but in regards to, like, the the line items that we have, like, following up with leads is way more important. Now, equally, like, getting reviews is great, but if you can sell them on a recurring service like maintenance, or if you could, get a referral out of them, like, those are probably more like short term achievable and beneficial, but long term reviews are kind of where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, I'll there's a couple little asterisks there, right? So first of all, your reviews do affect to a certain degree your SEO. So if you want to prioritize SEO, prioritizing reviews is a good way to help with that. Other things that kind of come from reviews, it's another one of those things where it's free. You don't have to spend money to ask somebody to give you a Google review or a Yelp review. Those things are free. So it's a very I would put it probably at an A for me personally, just because it's very low barrier. It's easy to do. It doesn't cost you anything. You can set up like a really simple automation to just in your final invoice or whatever, attach a little thing that really asks them for a review or sends a follow-up note, thank you note after the project is done saying, thanks so much. Could you leave us a review? It helps so much. And I mean, it helps give a legitimacy to your business. Now, I will say if you already have a bajillion reviews, let's say you already have like 5-star reviews and you already have 50 of them, and so your Google rating is really high, I probably wouldn't prioritize it as much as other things, just because you already have it. But if you don't already have that base, I would say it's pretty important. And again, it's free.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, targeting a super broad audience specifically for like digital ad campaigns.
This one could go either way. Targeting super broad could be really good or really bad. I mean, I don't actually think it's ever like really bad. It just depends on how much money you have to spend. Like if you're targeting a really broad audience, just make sure you have enough money to spend to get it in the right spot. Yeah, I feel like B is maybe a good like. Yeah.
It depends on like the situation, I feel like, for this one.
Yeah, I would.
Depends on your goals.
It just depends. Like, I know a very large artificial turf company that their cost per lead, not acquisition lead, is $1,400, but they're willing to lose money on leads because they want bigger market share. So it really just depends on like where you are in your company life cycle, and that's what companies do all the time. Like very large companies, they hit TV, radio, the size of buses, the stuff on top of Uber. It's like they're everywhere because they're going for more than just leads. They're going for brand recognition, so that future campaigns are a little cheaper because people are already associated with that brand. Now, most individuals we talk to, even ourselves, we don't have that luxury. We can't do that because we have to be more economical when it comes to that. We need to see an ROI pretty quickly. So I would say B is pretty accurate there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next, qualifying leads.
Yeah, I would I would agree with that. I would probably like in my heart say A, because like it is really good to qualify, but sometimes even from conversations that you have with people who aren't necessarily qualified, you'll get info that can help weed out those type of people in the future or develop products or services for them. So I would say A, but I'm not gonna fight you on S. So.
No, I mean it's definitely, I would say it's definitely an S tier. And those qualifications, like there are certain things where you want to be able to just completely filter people out. Like if you are targeting, let's say, homeowners, you want to be able to qualify that they own a home, that they're not renting, right? Like that qualification is paramount. Like you have to do it. So yeah, there's some where like there's these little tiny qualifications that people are kind of like a maybe on, and like not every qualifying question is important, but qualifying leads and having a way to get in front of the people that are a good fit for you and to know that they're a good fit for you, that's really important.
Yeah, kind of in the same vein, our next one is entertaining slash continuing to talk to leads who you know aren't a good fit for your company. Where would we rank that?
Oh, wow. You're coming for the jugular. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's in a cave in the middle of the desert. I typically I struggle with this one because I want to help as many people as I can. But yeah, you just shouldn't do it. It's like because you're not serving them, you know.
D, waste of time, waste of effort, not worth it.
Okay, next, optimizing your business operations.
I would put that, this is going to sound controversial. I would put that probably at like, I mean, it depends what stage you're at. If you're really early in your business, I'd put it at like a B or a C. If you're later on in your business, I'd put it at an S or an A. Um, if you are still developing your stuff, if you're not 100% sure what you're doing, who you're serving, what your real offer is, how you package these things, if you don't have those other things, operations is important to the degree that like you can get pretty far on a duct tape together car, you know? So it will be okay. It's important to do, and it's one of those things where like as you get a little further on and as you've found something that does work, then you start to optimize. So I guess I'd say if I have to like place it S, A, B, C, or D, I'd put it B. Um, and again, just to be kind of halfway between like it's either definitely a priority or probably not your first priority.
Yeah, I did not think you were gonna say that.
I know, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Misinformation.
I'm kind of shocked. To be honest, I don't know what to do from
It's a
here.
little bit of a wild card.
Yeah, I think we gotta move on, Justine, because I don't know.
This is hot take of the day.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Let's do pricing your services so low that you don't make money.
Again, I would put this at D just for like our audience and ourselves. Like I just wouldn't recommend that at all. Again, if you are in the above example where you have a lot of money to own a market and you're okay losing that up until the point where you have a vast majority of that control, then I would say that's probably good. But yeah, like I said, like don't you need to make money and you can't invest in marketing or growth or talent or anything operations if you don't have profit to do so. So you just can't lose money, if you lose money on the first deal but you make back on the second, like because of recurring service or something like that, then that's fine. But if it's a high ticket, you shouldn't lose money on it.
Agreed.
Cool. Next, not expanding your services.
That's a good one.
I like that personally.
Not expanding. So for my simple monkey brain, lizard brain, it is not expanding your services. Like you want to expand your services or you don't, because like kind of have that
I
B
feel
for
like this one's kind of mid tier. It's like it depends on what your goals are. Like if you want to
Justine,
grow your business, then
Justine, tell us your hot take. We've been answering all of these.
well, I guess if your goal is to like grow and expand, then you should be expanding your services, right? But if your goal is to like maintain what you have already built, then it wouldn't make sense to expand. But I don't know. Interesting.
I'll add a counter thought. Not expanding your services allows you to be a super specialist, which means for the exact same service, you can charge a lot more. So sometimes it's really good to not expand your services because you're like, look, we just do this.
Yeah.
And that can be really, really good. In some cases, it makes sense to add ancillary products or to maybe expand your service in terms of like different tiers of service that you're willing to offer. In some cases that makes sense. It just depends really. Like, would you rather do the exact same thing 500 times, or would you rather do varying versions of that thing 200 times? It's just one of those things where it definitely depends on the business, what you do, how you want to structure things. Like, for example, let's say you were an artificial turf company and you wanted to just do putting greens. In the right market, that could be a great business. You just do putting greens. Don't worry about anything else, just putting greens. And in certain cases, you might want to really lean into that you don't offer other services. But there's also a lot where if you're like, let's say a general landscaping company, you probably do want to offer pavers and lighting and turf and softscape and everything else. I mean, you probably do want to just be able to do everything for the whole yard. So just things to consider. It definitely depends on your goals, what you want to do. Like, do you want to dominate a specific niche? In which case, don't expand your service office offerings. It's not worthwhile. But if that's not your goal, then expansion at the right moments is really effective. So that's a hard one to rate. I guess I'd put it at C.
Yeah, I feel like we need a C one anyway. We don't have any yet. Okay, next, using data to drive your advertising campaigns.
S tier. S tier. Doesn't matter where it is. What you want to do is you want to look for your winners and your losers. Like, it's kind of harsh to categorize things in that way, but you want to look for like, these are the things that did really good and these are the things that didn't do really good. You want to figure out, why did these things not do good and why did these things do good? Lean in really heavy on the things that do good. You don't really know what does good until you have data. And remember, sample size. I will say that every time we ever mention data, sample size is really important. You need a large data set to be able to make accurate decisions.
Here's our tier list of everything that we talked about today.
And it all boils down to E.
E. That is our letter of the day.
So to recap, our most important priorities would be following up with leads, qualifying leads, and using data to improve your campaigns.
Yeah.
The second tier would be like, Facebook advertising is pretty effective. Definitely would recommend including some version of that. And then B would be asking for reviews. I cannot honestly read the second one. Targeting
a super broad audience.
Super broad audience. Optimizing your operations. Below that would be not expanding services. And then the things you do not want to do would be not creating profitable offers, pricing your services so they aren't profitable, and entertaining leads who aren't a good fit for you in the first place.
That is all I had planned. If there's anything else you guys want to mention, feel free.
I was just going to say it one more time, sample size, but that's all I have to say.
Well, stay hydrated, stay warm, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Have a great Christmas. Well, this will come out after Christmas. Have a great New Year's.
Have a great 2024. There you go. Peace.